Hello everyone, I'm your host, Boss Zombie. Welcome back to the Outer Worlds. We're going to Monarch. Well, that doesn't look too bad. I mean, yeah, that's probably acid water from what was described, and who knows? Maybe there's also acid rain, acid atmosphere, and the monsters sounded scary. That's for sure. There were definitely descriptions of scary monsters. So we've seen 4 companions. There was the girl. I'm assuming that girl. Something's fishy. Okay. I'm assuming something stellar. But wow, this actually looks pretty nice. I'm assuming the lady, the mechanic, engineer, whatever she was, from the Saltuna factory was the first companion you can get, and I turned her down. And Felix is the second. Sam, whenever I fix him, if I ever fix him. This is stealing, huh? He's another companion. And that lady at the medical place was also a companion. I think she had a companion quest, right? So, ooh, what does this do? Oh, wait, I need the... Ow. Did I break my leg? I don't think I broke my leg, right? Nope. Grim? Hello, Grim.
Hey, hold on there. I gotta sign you in. Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right?
You seem surprised.
You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off. You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-road traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes.
Oh, he's adorable.
On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna and halcyon. Please state your name for the records. Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even
Oh, that actually gave me reputation.
I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill. We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-roaders who do make it out here are sublet. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago.
And that would be such a shame. Is Purple Berry Crunch like a candy or a cereal or a...
Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about rapidons and cannibals and whatnot.
I knew it was a lie.
But that's all outside our walls. Mostly. Oh, sure. It makes Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell. Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that subject. Kinda goes over my head, though.
Guess the sulfur part was true.
Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you? Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor?
Depends if it's easy.
I got this Rizzo's Rangers Tossball poster coming in on the next sublight ship, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in?
Sure.
Thanks a bunch. Celia works for Mr.
The
Sanjar
Grim
in the
tomorrow.
MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
MSI. That's Monarch whatever Industries. Oh, it finally stopped telling me to check my codex. It's about time. So that's right over there. Worker. Okay. MSI guard.
You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance.
Must be. The Yacht Club? What?
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock peals, a worker earns his meals.
What are you talking about?
Hello, McGuire.
Well, well. Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger.
Really?
Enjoy. If you plan on sitting through Nyoka's stories, you might could use a few.
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Now what can I do for you?
You don't see that too often, where it's like the... Oh, it's like, what happened to all my inventory? My inventory is not there. Let's sell the junk. That's what I'm gonna keep that. I think I can get more for this in other places, so maybe I'll hold on to it. Plasma rifle, Jock. Jock? You can have that. I don't want it. Nyoka seemed important. Maybe I'll come back for that. Hello.
Fresh blood at last. Stellar Bay could use some.
The recruit has what appears to be a grinder stick. The technician has, I think, a flamethrower. Okay.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir. Greetings.
Oh, I like your
and
hair.
Welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
I'm looking for a poster. Get that hand out of frame.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse.
Okay.
But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago. Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
Why?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Do you eat those?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else. Sort of the strong, silent type.
Ah, I understand.
Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell. Would you? I'd appreciate that so
Flowers
much.
for Sebastian.
Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
You're adorable.
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about.
He probably doesn't have anything going on in his
Plus,
head.
He's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises. You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny.
Okay.
Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
And you're Mr. Sanjar.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
Well, I hate that sentence.
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me. Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
I can't tell if I like you yet.
Not
I think
so
I do.
generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself?
I'm just looking for the...
Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me.
Oh, I think you're about to be very disappointed.
But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for salt tuna.
Hey, it could always be...
Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
And you're tired of scrounging in...
Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Indeed. Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
Against...
With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course.
Oh, sure.
If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
That could be helpful.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
But just one?
An ordnance, of course. We do things in a civilized fashion here. Not like Graham's iconoclasts.
Ooh, cool name.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you just crawled out from under a rock. Forms and procedures are everything in Halcyon. And this one is located in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
It's always marauders and raptidons.
Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Sure.
What can I do for you? I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
He did a bang-up job.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you? Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
What?
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws. Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. Back then, it was known as Terra 1.
Oh, that makes sense.
As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to, but there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out. Anyway,
I think I do like this guy.
We learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
Ah.
No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else. Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages. I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
There's a lot of important backstory.
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon. To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation. Indeed, we've got to consider realities, not ideals. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
He likes them $5 words.
I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position of power. And I don't mean to leave MSI or its people at a disadvantage. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here. And who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
Who's Graham?
He and his followers call themselves the
That guy.
Outcasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels and pushes us further from the rest of the colony.
So that's another case of two
It's
different
lucky the board
groups.
doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous. For the greater good. Allegedly. Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way. What can I do for you?
Okay, I think that's everything. So, journal. Bolt with his name. Oh, let's look at the map. So, it's set to the southwest, but oh, dear Lord, this is a big area. Where's the Grim tomorrow? Let's keep pursuing this one at least. Can I not get over this? Nope. That's not the way. There we go. Ooh, bags of trash. Hello, Velma.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry.
A box. Shove you in a box.
Well, if you're that friendly about it, then you definitely aren't one of Catherine's sublight toughs. My mistake. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
Pescatological, as in fish? Wait, pescatological? That's not just fish study, that's like fish behavioral studies?
Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess. I can't keep working double shifts either. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, Maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments.
I could, Rabbit, I could.
Tell him Velma said to get his lazy
The
ass
secret
down here,
people.
or she might start noticing those extra drugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind?
Grimm's poster.
This again? I swear, this is the last time I contract for any special requests. You can tell Grimm his poster came in. You can also tell him I got a better offer for it. So now it's going to...
Oh, that's so mean.
That about cover it? She runs the betting parlor across the way. Nice professional lady. She asked me about the poster once. Just once. Made a real generous offer, too.
Oh, poor Grimm.
Damn right it is. It's staying locked up in my office until Nell shows with her money. No. I paid Sublight for it. So, it's mine. And when Nell pays me for it, it'll be hers. Grimm may have asked for the poster, but it's not his until I take his money. Sure can. If you want to pay me more than Nell's offering.
513, that's not too bad, but let's use...
Sure. And once you finish helping me...
Oh, I should have done the
then we can talk
intimidation.
about the poster.
Maybe I shouldn't have.
Fine by me.
Okay, so we'll come back to talk with her. So, what are my objectives here? There's Nell. Oh, I don't want to steal from it. I'll go talk to Nell. Maybe I can persuade her? Okay, we'll pursue this in the next episode. So thanks for joining me. Come back. I'll have the next stuff up real soon. But until then, bye.